What's up, everybody? Good morning. This is Jose Trujillo. I'm right here in my studio doing it live. Okay, so this video is for you artists out there, all of you artists out there, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, artpreneurs, whatever you call yourself. All these people that are calling themselves all the self-employed peeps. Okay, if you're self-employed, you're an artist, you're an entrepreneur, you're a solopreneur, you're a I don't know, whatever, artpreneurs. I think some people call themselves artpreneurs. How's it going, Rosalia? Good morning. So this video is to debunk a myth. Okay, I'm doing some videos to debunk myths, so this is one of those. This is a myth in the art world. This is a myth in the art world. Those of you out there, let me say hi to some friends here. What's up? What's up? So one of the myths, one of the biggest myths out there in the art world is that I, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, as a kick-ass person, okay, as an I work for myself type of person, I make my own schedule. This is what I love about being an artist. I get to make my own schedule. Oh my God, I can make my own schedule. I can put my hours. I have all this flexibility. Ooh, flexibility. I can be nimble. And I make my own schedule and I can do whatever I want. This is one of the biggest, most hurtful lies when you're working for yourself. As a matter of fact, not only it's a huge lie, okay? It's huge. I mean, big, grande, Nacho Bel Grande, baby. It's a huge lie. If you're actually doing that, you're probably going to lose at this game, actually. And I know people don't want to hear that, but that's what I'm here for. To say those things that people are like, dude, Jose, just leave me alone, dude. Let me be. Okay, well, you can tell yourself whatever you want. Okay, you can wake up and be like, "Oh my God, this is so cool! I'm an artist. I get to." This, by the way, I operated like this for years in my career, and looking in hindsight, looking back, I was like, "Dude, what an idiot! What an idiot!" I was just playing with my time. See, because you probably get good at something, you know. Once you start getting a little bit good at something, a little better good at something, you start bending the rules. You start saying, well, maybe I don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning. Maybe I don't have to get up at 5. Maybe I'll get up at 9. Or you start moving, because now some success, some level of success is coming in, whether it's a little bit of income, or you're getting exposure in galleries, or your following count is going up on Instagram. Whatever that is, whatever your idea of success is. Once you start getting that, it's like, boom, you start hitting this wall, right? You start hitting this wall, but it's not necessarily a wall that you can see. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You start telling yourself that you got outs, that you actually control your time. Another myth that I'm going to talk about later, it's I can get paid whatever I want. Love this. Such a big lie. No, you can't get paid whatever you want, but I'll leave it for some other time. But this one, let's concentrate on this one, okay? I make my own time. I make my own schedule. That is not true. Again, if you don't have a... Dude, Sonic, I'm trying to make a video here, dude. My dog. If you don't have a strong, stone cold schedule, okay, for your day... And I'm talking about like kick-ass schedule. This shit is tight. That your mommy calls, you don't go and answer the phone and call with her for 2 hours. You wouldn't do that if you work for someone, right? You don't do that when you work for yourself either. Your friends came by the studio and he brought some coffee, or they brought some coffee, and now you have an hour to shoot the shit. You wouldn't do that if you worked for someone else, right? You don't do that when you work for yourself either. Oh man, I'm going to go distress for a little bit, and then you take an hour of your time. I used to do this. Right around 6 p.m., I used to tell my wife this because I would wake up at 5 in the morning and I'd be like, man, I'm working at 6 p.m. I need to distress. I feel like everything's so tight. I'm going to go to, because I live downtown. I'm going to go to the local bar. I could just walk there. I'm going to go to the local bar, grab a beer, shoot the shit for 2 hours, right? And come back and tell myself that I was going to be productive again, or I was going to do something productive, like, I don't know, start an email list, or all of this stuff is a big lie. Let me read some of these comments. Dude, Sonic, you're killing my vibe with all that barking, dude. When you're self-employed, you need to have a time block to keep yourself moving forward towards your goals. Absolutely. And so people have this idea, you know, I talk to artists all the time, and people have this idea is that they control their time. No, you don't control your time. Here's something that you may not know. Or maybe you do. I don't know. If you work for yourself, you're actually working. Your schedule has to be tighter than if you work for someone else. This is the ugly truth. But it ain't ugly, man. You're supposed to want to be there because you love doing this, whatever it is. I'm an artist. I love doing this shit, man. I can't wait to get to my studio. And when everybody leaves, I'm like, bye, bye, bye. Because I know it's my most productive time when people leave. When people are like, oh my God, it's 4. Oh, it's 6. I got to go. Hey, peace out. Bye-bye. Because I'm by myself now and I feel more productive. See, I'm not interrupted by the days. I'm not interrupted. This little fucker, you know, you hear barking, he gets tired and he goes and lays down. He puts himself in a little corner, you know, have all prepared little bed and everything. And he lays down and he rests. He's not barking all day. He's not barking at the mailman. I don't take phone calls. I'm not doing anything from like 6 p.m. to 10, sometimes 11 p.m. It's my most productive time. It is. And very early in the morning, too, is extremely productive. For those first 3 hours in the morning, nobody bothers me. Nobody. I am not taking phone calls. I don't check my phone. Okay? The first 3 hours that I wake up, I don't check my phone. I don't even look at my phone. I don't care about looking at it because it's all time wasting. It's BS. It's, you know, like if you work for someone, you're not checking your phone. You're not getting lost on TikTok. You're not getting lost on Instagram. Of course not. You're present in your job and you're doing the best you can for the amount of time that you're being hired, whether it's 5 hours a day or it's 12 hours a day. Who knows, right? Or it's 8 hours a day for most people. You got to stay present and you gotta be focused. And yes, you need breaks. Of course, I take breaks. I go and I sit there and I meditate for a little bit. I go get some water. I take my lunch break. I sit here and I have my dinner. Sometimes my family's here having dinner with me in my studio. So it's family time, right? In the studio as well. I'm not talking about work or anything. We sit here and we I don't know, have dinner and we'll talk about whatever, you know, something familial, you know, like how's school going, little bud, you know, that type of stuff. Anyways, so this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. One of the biggest myths is I make my own schedule if I am self-employed, if I am an entrepreneur. How's it going, Gabby? If I'm an entrepreneur, if I'm self-employed, if I work for myself, if I am an artpreneur, it's bullshit. No, you don't make your own schedule. As a matter of fact, I will say this again, if you're making your own schedule, you're probably going to lose at this game. This game requires you to be very tight. I mean, airtight. Your schedule has to be airtight. None of that bullshit like, my mom called. Oh, let me talk to her for an hour. And, you know, oh, a friend came to visit. I don't even allow people to come to my studio. You know, people are always calling me. Hey, can I go visit the studio? Can I pick up a painting? I'm like, no, because I know what it is. I've done it. I did it for years. I know what it is. They'll come, they'll want to see paintings. Nothing wrong. It's nice, but it's not a gallery. It's a working place. My studio, as you can see here, this is not a gallery. This is a working place. It's a working place. It's a place where we need to be productive. And if you can see over here, this is where we package. This is the front side of things. And so it is a working place. It is not a gallery. So sometimes people call and well-meaning, well-meaning. Hey, I just want to go check out. Maybe I'll even say no, even understanding that I may lose on a sale, because people that want to come by, they want to buy something, but they also want to talk to me for an hour or 2 hours. This has been the past experience. So I don't allow anybody to come to my studio anymore. I used to, not anymore. Nobody comes to my studio. You want to come to my studio, you better work for me. Okay? You better work for me. You better work with me. Or you're the UPS person or the FedEx or the US Postal Service, or you are you're my handyman who's going to be stretching canvases for me and creating paintings. Otherwise, you ain't coming to the studio. I don't care if you're my dad, you're not coming to the studio. You're my sister, you're not coming to the studio. No, it's just no, right? Because, look, think about it. Think about it like this, guys. If you work for someone, let's say you're a bank teller, you want your sister going to your job and sitting next to the window while you're taking orders, while you're like taking care of people, creating transactions or whatever, creating new accounts? Of course not. She's going to be like, girl, go home. What are you doing here? No, of course not. It's the same thing when you work for yourself. You do not make up your own time. It is a lie. It is the thing that is keeping you small. This doesn't mean that I don't take time for my family, of course. I take time every day. I call my dad and I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? OG, what you doing? What you're up to? And then I move on. It's just a minute or two. If you do it every day, you don't need to be there for an hour. If you do it every day, all you need is just a little minute. 1 minute, 2 tops. He just wants to know that I'm there. Same thing with my family. I have 9 other siblings. There's 10 of us. There's 10 siblings. I have 9 other siblings. Just takes a minute. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Awesome. Okay, great. Boom. I don't call them all every day. Of course not. I space it out. But it's just 1 little minute. But it's constantly. It's constantly, right? So that we keep that connection, especially right now during the Rona. And on Sundays, because I don't work either on Saturdays or on Sundays. We flip them depending on what we're doing. We flip that day. I only rest 1 day a week. We get together and we do something. We do something cool. We hang out. We whatever. Right now during the Rona we can't. We Zoom, right? We can't. We house party, but it is what it is right now. Let's see. I got Claire says, "Me too. Studios off limits. Visitors can eat too much time." Yeah, it's always that, right? They come by the studio and they want to sit there and talk to you for hours or whatever. It's just it doesn't work. Here, I think someone's at the door. Someone at the door. Maybe not yet. The person that's at the door is my assistant. That's the only person that can be at the door right now. Oh, they're not here yet. Instagram, Gabby says, Instagram is such a time sucker unless you're growing your audience. Yeah, if you're not growing your audience, you better be learning from someone or stay or get off of it. Instagram is a great place to connect with someone or to grow your audience. It's a fantastic place to connect with people that are like me, or you're connecting with someone who you're learning from, or you want to do some sort of collaboration with. It's awesome. But if you're not doing that, if it's not for business or growth, or audience growth, or engagement growth, which is more important than audience growth, actually, if you're not doing some sort of engagement, participating in the community, shaking some virtual hands, rubbing some virtual shoulders, or as we say in Spanish, codeando, elbows, crushing elbows. That's how you say it in Spanish, at least in certain countries in Latin America. It's codeando. Tienes que codearte. Anyways, guys, it's a lie. Okay, you do not make your own schedule. Again, if you're making your own schedule, you're probably stuck. I know that. You're not probably stuck. You're fucking stuck if you're making your own schedule. I know that. I know this for a fact. Boom, mic drop. Pat. You're stuck. And if you're not stuck, you're probably getting stuck and you don't know it. If you're like, oh, I'm not stuck, I'm like, you probably don't know it yet, more than likely. You don't make your own schedule, guys. Your schedule has to be airtight. It has to be very, very strong. And it has to be, of course, daily. It can't be like, well, I showed up at 5 today and then tomorrow I'll show up at 7. It ain't gonna work that way, guys. It's gotta be stone cold. It's gotta be a lean, clean, mean business machine, guys. If it's not that, it ain't gonna work. There's no way. Actually, the real thing that's keeping you from moving forward in your career is specifically that. It's that you don't have a tight schedule. What's happening? Most people think that it's their artwork or that it's something else, some other thing. It's not. The thing that is keeping you hostage, if you will, in your own dreams and your own goals, your own career, is that your shit's not tight. It's really the only thing that's keeping you hostage. You don't have to go try to be a better painter. It wouldn't hurt. You don't have to. You don't have to go and... Good morning, Marina. You don't have to go and, I don't know, come up with a new sales funnel, you know? I feel like Beetlejuice when I'm like, no. You don't have to come up with a new sales funnel. You don't have to come up with some new invention that someone came up with on, any of the marketers or how to use TikTok better or how to use Etsy to your advantage. All of that is bullshit. You don't have to come up with any of that. What's up, Vincent? What's happening? You don't have to come up with any of that, okay? All you really need is a tight schedule. It's a stone cold tight schedule. Everything emanates from that. Everything. And the more time, okay, that you devote to that schedule, what I mean by that is the more time you okay? That was like a sword. The more time you devote to the schedule, meaning if you start with 1 hour, make sure that it's 1 hour, okay? You don't have to do 2-3 hours, but make sure it's every day. Make sure it's at least 5 days a week, guys, for the thing to work. As soon as you get that going, every day, then you can stretch the time. Now it's 2 hours. It'll let you know. Because it depends on energy. It depends. It's like energy is like oxygen for a business. Yeah, I think I nailed it. Energy is like oxygen for a business. It depends on energy. When people ask me like, how do you make Instagram work, or how do you make eBay work, or how is it that you're selling your work on these places? It's energy. It's energy. It's boom, baby. 5, 6, 7 hours, whatever it is. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, where can I go and get the money? Okay, I can get the money on Etsy. I can get the money on eBay. I can get the money on Saatchi Art. I can get the money on commissions. Okay, then I'll devote myself on creating artwork and selling that artwork, getting some money in, and then hiring people to help me also be there with me. Again, 2-3 hours, maybe 5 hours. When I started, it was just, I could only hire someone for 2-3 hours. Maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, every day, 8 hours, whatever it is that you can afford, right? But it's energy. The business moves with energy. There's no other thing. Like, people are always asking, like, oh, what is it? What's the system? Energy. Energy is the system. Imagine if you had the way to control, which we do by means of hiring people, but you're controlling time instead of doing, I don't know, something for 8 hours. You can hire someone, and now you're essentially 2 people. You hire someone else, essentially 3 people, and on and on and on. And so, anyways, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other video. But that's that, my friends. Okay? Again, that myth, guys. The myth of, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a solopreneur, I'm an artpreneur, I make my own time. Bullshit. You don't make your own time. It doesn't exist. Again, I will say, I think it's the 4th or 5th time that I say this. If you're making your own time, if you're controlling your own time, okay, you're probably losing at this shit. You do not control your own time. You actually have to be leaner. You have to be tighter than if you work for someone else. If you work for someone else, and mucho love, I love that. Thank you so much, bro. If you work for someone else, you work 8 hours for someone else, okay? You have to be there at a certain time. You have to leave at a certain time. You take lunch at a certain time. If you work for yourself and you want that thing to work, when you work for yourself, you probably have 2-3 jobs like that. You're probably at least Especially when you're starting out and you want that thing to work, you're probably working about 18 hours a day. No bullshit. You're probably doing that. 16 to 18 hours a day. And you're not, because you're figuring things out. You may not be busy on the right things. You may be running around like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But sooner or later, you start getting smarter at it. If you keep practicing and you keep paying attention to your schedule and studying your daily schedule, you have to study your time, right? To the minute you start studying it and you keep paying attention to it, it gets better and better and better. By the way, I did this in the beginning of my career, and this is what I'm telling you. I started realizing that as time went by, I got better, and it looked like I had more free time. It was a lie. Okay? It was a lie. The moment that you feel like you have more free time and you can start playing with your time, you go back to zero again. Now, you might keep getting opportunities and getting paid and whatever, living comfortable, whatever your goals are. You might look like that, but you're no longer. It's like a bow. You know, I always picture it like this. It's your success is like a bow. It's got to be tight, and there's got to be enough pounds of pressure for the arrow to shoot forward. And if that thing is not tight, forget about it. You know, it's got to be very tight. It's got to be, you know, very, very freaking tight. If it's not, it ain't gonna work. There's no way. There's not enough energy, propulsion, whatever you call it, fuel. That's the fuel. The more tight it is, that's really what your fuel is. That's how you can launch something. So, anyways, I'll leave you with that. I'm like, anyways, sounds like Nacho Libre. Anyways. Okay, my friends, I'll leave you with that. Okay. If you found this helpful, if you found any of this stuff like worth, you know, implementing in your own career or whatever, all I ask is for you to follow me or tag a friend. That's it. All right. Peace out, my friends. Take care. Adios.